MMA Locker Room here with Pick Dawgz, and I'm going to be going over UFC 302, giving you guys my best picks, my predictions on all of the fights, starting off with the very first early prelim all the way up to the main event. Now look, what I need you guys to do is smash that like button out there and let me know in the comments below, how'd you guys do last week, man? Let's talk about the recap. Not last week, but the week before. We had 1 week off, but before that, hey, the main event, Leron Murphy vs. Edson Barboza. How'd you guys do on that card? We came out on top. Our predictions, we only missed 2 picks on our video predictions, you know. Ended up going 9-2. Our bets definitely cashed. Shout out to Angela Hill, Leron Murphy, Chaos Williams. He definitely brought the chaos in there and stuff. And yeah, you know, and Thimba Garimbo. It was a good card over here. So hopefully you guys had a good week betting on UFC. That was the recap. So, you know, UFC bet with me. We're back. We're beating the bookies, folks. MMA Mafia. We're making money all day. And if you bet on MMA, you're part of the MMA Mafia too. So welcome on to the show. Now look, UFC 302 is going down. A big card with the big pay-per-view event with Islam Makhachev. One of the top light heavyweights in the division. Like, come on now, man. Like, his pedigree has been proven. Lightweights. Sorry about that. Lightweights, folks. Caught me. His pedigree has been proven that nobody can beat him in this division. Will Dustin Poirier stand a chance? We'll just talk about that because, you know, Islam Makhachev was a -400 favorite. Now he's all the way up to a -600 favorite. And is Dustin Poirier that big underdog that's going to bring you guys your bread and get you guys paid? We'll see. That's what we're watching the video for. So, hey, let me know exactly, man, what you guys are going to be looking for in this card. But first fight of the night, man, we got a good one taking place. Andre Lima is going to be taking on Mitch Raposo. All right, Andre Lima is undefeated, 8-0, taking on Mitch Raposo, 9-1. Mitch Raposo, how do you guys know him? You probably don't because he just got this fight on short notice. But I've seen him fight before. Seen him fight in the Ultimate Fighter. Wasn't really that good in there. He's a type of wrestler that goes out there and goes for the takedowns, you know. And he was a character on the show that you rooted for. But when the fight came down to it, he just didn't win. Then got a fight on the Dana White Contender Series against Jake Halley. That was a tough one too. Wasn't able to get the win in there. Bounced back on the regional scenes, been floating around there. He's taking on Andre Lima. Andre Lima's 1-0 in the UFC. Made his UFC debut. I forget the guy's name, but the guy got bit. And that's how he won the fight. But we had to play on the actual guy who bit him. But he got kicked out the UFC after that. And he was up in the fight. Andre Lima is a -240 favorite out here. He's going to have the striking that I think is going to win this fight. I think he can win by a 3rd round KO or decision. That's my pick. That's my prediction in this fight. Andre Lima, I believe the money that's coming in on him, he's probably going to get up to like a -280 on here. Mitch Raposo, though, he's going to be, this is his 3rd time, folks. So I'm going to tell you guys like this, man. Mitch Raposo, this is going to be the best that you're going to see him at, okay? And hopefully he added more stuff to his toolbox because after your 3rd time, you ain't getting in after this. Second fight on the card. We got a good one, folks. It's the girls, the ladies fight. Jocelyn Edwards taking on Ailin Perez. Jocelyn Edwards, 13 wins, 5 losses. Ailin Perez, 9-2 in the promotion. But the gambling odds has Perez as the favorite, -195. Now, look, both of these women kind of already fought before. Really not in the cage, but Ailin Perez had a fight her last time out, and Jocelyn Edwards was at the same place with her coaches and training, and ended up, you know, getting in an altercation with Ailin Perez backstage and pieced her up, hit her in the eye, gave her a black eye. The fight still went on, and they let Ailin Perez fight who she was supposed to fight then. But yeah, so these girls been waiting to throw down in the cage. So to me, I think this is one of the fights that is going to be one of the better ones on the actual card because they actually want to fight. Sometimes you get fighters in there and they got to fight just because of their rankings, because of their names. They want to fight because they actually got beef. And here, Ailin Perez is a, you know, physical fighter. She's gonna go out there, go for the takedowns. You know, she's gonna throw when she needs to. But she tires out real fast, folks. She's a real aggressive fighter, you know, and she tires down a lot. Jocelyn Edwards, a kickboxer, athletic, usually throwing a lot of leg kicks to her opponent in there. She's been mixing in the takedowns in her last couple of fights as of late, like a counter puncher. She could win with volume. I like the dog in here, man. I think the dog is live. Jocelyn Edwards is already 1-0 on her. I think she's going to go 2-0. And hear me out on this. Doesn't really finish her opponents, but I could see her finishing Alien Perez in the third round for these two reasons. Alien Perez slows down as the fight goes, and they actually got beef and won a fight. So when you're in there and that adrenaline drops and you don't got nothing to rely on, what are you gonna do? I think that's what Alien Perez is gonna go out there. She's gonna go out there and try to finish her, and Jocelyn Edwards is gonna probably play the technical game and get a late round finish. But hey, I think the dog is live. I got to play on Jocelyn Edwards. Already better at a +175. Next fight on the card. All right, man. Mickey Gall is back. All right, Mickey Gall, 7-5, taking on Basel Hafez. Basel Hafez, 8-4-1. Last time we seen him, he was making his UFC debut against Jack Maladena in a close fight that a lot of people thought that he won, as a big underdog. Speaking about a big underdog, that's what Mickey Gall is. He's like a +315 on the books. Hafez went from a -260 to a -315 to I think he's up to a -400 now on the books, okay? But look, he's a jiu-jitsu type of player that's want to get you down to the ground. He did carry the belt, I want to say, in another promotion before. I think it was like Fury or CFCC or something like that. But look, man, when it comes down to the striking, both these guys are not what you want to see. They always want to get you down to the ground. Mickey Gall, he's been nowhere. He made his UFC debut early on. I was a big fan of this guy, actually. He got the win over Sage Northcutt. I like how he actually carries himself. I will be honest, man. I think that he's actually a decent fighter, and I think that he just got his career rushed to him a little bit too soon. He was taking fights with fighters to where if they would have gave him a slower path and built him up, he would have learned on the job, because that's how it was. I think he came into the promotion 4-0 and 5-0, and he was fighting people in the UFC. Your average MMA fighter at that time, they're fighting people on the local regional scene. He wasn't able to do that, man. And here, I like Hafez to get it done, though, to be honest. I think he finishes him round 3. I don't know what I've seen against Mickey Gall in the last couple of times that would make you bet him in this spot. But we'll see, man. If he comes out, looking like a new improved fighter, we'll see. Next fight taking place. Before we do that, I need everybody to comment on me, man. Let me know exactly who's your best underdog. I know you guys got some dogs, because, hey, man, the dog's been barking lately over here. All right, man, we got Jake Matthews, 19 wins, 7 losses, taking on Phil Rowe, 10-4. Jake Matthews, slight favorite, big favorite, actually. Sorry about that. -170 on the books. Now, look, man, this guy's been fighting for the UFC forever, man. I mean, the fight resume, you got to give it to him. The striking, I give him a C. Wrestling, I give him a C. Cardio, I give him a C-. Man, that's being generous, okay? Jake Matthews, he's been one of those guys that's always supposed to be better than what he is. But in this case, Phil Rowe, he's a guy that I actually think he is better than what he is sometimes when he's out there fighting and how he carries himself. Me, I like the dog in this one, man. Phil Rowe is a fighter that's doing everything in the MMA game that you want to see. A fighter going to different places and training, going to karate combat, getting in jiu-jitsu competitions and stuff. One of the brothers actually out there putting on for us out there, man, and learning and expanding this martial arts game for us out there. This is what I love to see, people out there testing themselves and expanding, and that's what he's doing. What I mean by that? Not the best at everything, but he's getting better at a lot of things, overall skill fighter, explosive though. I like his striking though, because he can finish opponents, okay? Got a few finishes in the UFC. Jiu-jitsu, been training that for the longest, man. I think he can win by sub in this one, man. Give me Phil Rowe with the dog money, and I think he might even get the sub in this one. So let's go ahead and take Phil Rowe to win inside the distance too as well. And yeah, man, I think we're going to be cashing some dog money on this play. Next fight on the card, we got Okay, Joe Selecki taking on Grant Dawson. Grant Dawson, 20 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw. Joe Selecki, 13-4. Grant Dawson, man, opened up a minus 350 favorite. Now he's up to what? Let's see, minus 500 on the books. Man, both these guys got a similar style, meaning that they both want to kind of wrestle you, grapple you, clinch you, and, you know, see what they can do on the mat-wise. Grant Dawson is getting a bad rep because in his last fight out, he got dropped and knocked out by Bobby the King Green. Now, look, I'm not like the other people out there that's going to say Grant Dawson's chinny, you can't trust him or anything like that. I can trust him. Why? Because he only lost money for me 1 time, you know. So in this spot, the odds that he's up to now, I laid off it. I did have a parlay with him when he came out at a minus 350 in here. You know, I think he's just going to be able to win by decision. So if you guys want to cut that price tag down, take Grant Dawson to win by decision. Joe Selecki, okay, his path to victory. He does have a path. If Grant Dawson can get taken down and held down to the ground, okay, he might be able to do something down there, but now just be holding him down to the ground, though. I don't think that he should be able to submit somebody like Grant Dawson, who actually is like, I want to say he's a high belt in jiu-jitsu as well, you know, and had people on his back like Joe Selecki pretty much before training at American Top Team. All right. Next fight on the card, big boys, heavyweights. Alexander Romanov taking on Jailton Almeida. Alexander Romanov, 17 wins, 2 losses. Jailton Almeida, 20-3. Jailton Almeida opened up a minus 300 favorite. Now, he's down to like a minus 260 on the books, maybe a 280 coming back. Romanov, he was the guy's favorite fighter that we always used to bet on because we knew what he was going to go out there and do. He was going to go out there, try to take you down. He was going to finish you inside the distance. He doesn't have a lot of losses, but sometimes he left a bad taste in a lot of bettors' mouth. Me, Jailton Almeida, same things could be said about him. Why? Because we was betting on him continuously. Lost for us last time out against Curtis Blades in a fight that he had so many takedowns in the first round. Then he just got knocked out going for a takedown in the second round like a ground and pound hammer fist, and it ended the fight, right? So now everybody want to say they can't trust Jailton Almeida. I can. Give me Jailton Almeida in this spot, man. Romanov doesn't have a lot of good cardio. A lot of good cardio is not going to equal up to good things with Jailton Almeida because Jailton Almeida is relentless with these takedowns. He's been doing this on big boys like Romanov all throughout his career and then through the gym. So that's why he can do this and fight at this heavyweight division, even though he is a light heavyweight fighter in here. I think Jailton Almeida is going to come back for that revenge spot in here. I think I'm going to be playing him inside the distance as well. But this is going to be a good fight. And I hope Romanov shows up, though, just so we don't get, you know, that old school Romanov to where it's like, hey, you know, looking like a whale on the scale or anything like that, you know. But I like Jailton Almeida in here. Let's go, though. But heavyweights, man, you know how it can go. All right, next fight taking place, middleweight. Got a lot of people going back and forth in the betting community. Cesar Almeida, 5-0, taking on Roman Kopylov, 12-3. Look, Roman Kopylov opened up the favorite, like a minus 120, minus 130. Oh my, did the line flip? Yes, it did. Now Cesar Almeida is the favorite, minus 130, minus 120 on him. Okay, Kopylov, good talented kickboxer, right? Averages at about 4.6 strikes per minute. Cesar Almeida made his UFC debut, you know, on the Contender Series, then had 1 fight against Dylan Butka. I had a play on him. Cesar Almeida cashed for me on there. I was going against him in the Contender Series. Didn't work out in there. I'm 1-1 betting on him, right? But this is my story, and this is what I'm sticking to. I only seen him fight 2 times. And, you know, he does have a win over Alex Pereira way back in the day, 2013. That's his claim to fame that everybody's going to be saying. But Roman Kopylov, I've seen him fight over and over again. Made money against him. I had Anthony Hernandez. His last fight out, Kopylov got finished inside the distance, as he was supposed to. Anthony Hernandez is that man. We played Anthony Hernandez. But I've seen Kopylov fight plenty of times before. In here, I started off looking at Cesar Almeida at the plus money when he came out. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. I bet it, okay, earlier on at the plus money. But as the week went and everything like that, and sometimes things change. My bets and my picks, sometimes they change, right? My pick is Kopylov. I think Kopylov has the better fight resume. And I think, you know, he can win with the kick to the body and drop Cesar Almeida in here as well. And he can mix it up. I think he can win. He usually comes on late in the fights. After that second round is when he comes on. He takes the first round off. So we don't really know how Almeida's going to really look in this third round too. So my pick it's capital, but I did make a bet on Cesar Almeida when he came out at plus 110. But I'm giving you guys exactly my reality here. You know, like I bet him earlier on, but as the week came and I started digging in deeper, I'm like, So it's one of those things now to where I look at it. I do got plus money on him, right? I got plus money, and the average person said, well, now you can get Kapilov at plus money and just make sure you walk away with something. I'm not doing that. I already made the bet. The money's in. But if you ask me who's going to win the fight, that's what I think. But those odds at that time, I guess I was drinking the Kool-Aid. But now that I see it, I think I got that one wrong, folks. Hopefully I don't get this one wrong, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. If you guys are watching this right now, let me know exactly where you guys are located at. I like to know where my followers are at. All right, Randy Brown taking on Aleksei Dos Santos. Randy Brown is a minus 180 favorite in there. Dos Santos got a bad taste with me. Why? Because he beat my boy Curtis Millender back in the day. My boys, they fought in the UFC as a co-main event spot. Tapped him out real quick. Curtis Millender kind of looked like Randy Brown too. I'm going with Randy Brown. Why? Just for the simple fact of revenge. Yes, man. I need that, man. I need to get my money back. Nah, but beyond that, I do like Randy Brown in this spot. Randy Brown, he's going to be able to pop that jab out there and keep this on the range of his feet. I don't think Dos Santos is the same fighter as he was back in the day. Like, if this was 3 years ago, I'd be like, yeah, man, he's been looking good. He's been still winning, too. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think he's that same fighter that he was, and he looks not like a shell of himself. He just looks older, you know what I mean? And he hasn't been losing too much, but he just looked like he's gotten older. All right, next fight on the card. Alex Moreno, 24 wins, no losses, taking on Nico Price. Ain't going to waste your time too long in this one. Both these guys fought already in a fight that was going back and forth. Alex Moreno dropped him, I think, and won in round 1, and then Nico Price came back and dropped him out and won in round 2. I was thinking Nico Price had another shot in this fight, but then I just did a little bit more tape study. I think Alex Moreno is going to win inside the distance, folks. I actually think the price tag is warranted in that one. Next fight taking place. All right, man. We got a good one. Kevin Holland taking on Michal Oleksiejczuk. All right, man. Kevin Holland last time out against MVP in a fight that went to the Georgia scorecards. He wasn't able to get the range and close the distance on there, okay? Now, this is a fight to where his opponent's going to come forward and give him exactly what he wants. I think Kevin Holland's going to win inside the distance in this one. Hear me out on this. He gets paid a lot of money to show up and fight. He gets paid that same amount if he wins. I think he wants to get that payment again in here, man. I think he's going to fight smart, too. I wouldn't be surprised if he takes him down and wins by submission. Kevin Holland, what the fuck? Kevin Holland, man, is one of the smarter fighters out there, actually, man. Trust me. The guy was an electrician before he was fighting, man. I used to follow him in the LFA, man. That was his company that sponsored him or something back then when he fought my boy Curtis Millender, man. But, yeah, we ain't here for that. But the point of the story is this. I've been watching this guy and following him before he came into the UFC when he was fighting Jeff Neal. All this Sean Strickland stuff, he used to do that. He was known for that. Talking shit to Jeff Neal while he's beating him up in the cage, talking to people in the crowd, doing all that. That's what drew me to Kevin Holland, okay? I seen him. I was doing a tape study for my boy Curtis. I'm like, at the gym with him, and I'm like, wait, this the dude you fighting? Yeah, I'm like, man, this dude's dope. You feel me? I'm like, all right, I'm like, regardless, I'm glad I seen it. I seen a fight with him and Jeff Neal, watching it, doing tape study on it, and he fights him in the LFA. Curtis Millender gets the win. In other words, Kevin Holland's winning for this one, man. Take him inside the distance. Let's go. Next fight taking place. Co-main event. Man, Sean Strickland taking on Paulo Acosta. It's going to be a good one, Cole. Why? We got a striker versus a power hitter. Striker and Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland got the belt. Lost it to DDP in a fight that we had DDP. Paulo Acosta, seen him fight live against Yoel Romero. One of the best fights out there, man. They were going back and forth, holding their hands behind their back, saying, hit me. Talking to each other. I think we're going to get the same interaction and engagement in this fight, man. I think this is going to be a striking match. I think these guys are going to be talking shit to each other as it goes on. But I think Sean Strickland wants to get back on that winning path. You know, he likes the feeling of winning, you know. And hey, man, he's even talking about, hey, I should be maybe fighting for the belt again if I win after this. So, hey, a little bit more inspiration that you want to hear from him. Paulo Acosta fights when he wants to, does what he wants to. They call him the nickname Eraser. I don't know for what, man, because he hasn't been erasing nothing as of late, man. I think a lot of people confuse Paulo Acosta with what you see now and what you think he was years ago. He doesn't fight that way, man. And all of his losses as of late, he only has 3. But he hasn't really looked good in about 5 years, man, if you ask me. 4 to 5. All right, main event time. But before we do that, man, smash that like button out there. Give me your best 2-team parlay. Speaking of a parlay, Islam Makhachev. 25 wins, 1 loss, taking on Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier is getting another shot at the title after beating Juan Denis in his last fight out, where he was a big underdog in there. He was getting beat up in the first round, came back and finished St. Juan Denis in the second round or third round. Hence, now you're back in the title fight, all right? Islam Makhachev has been, as advertised, one of the best ever to step in the ring, especially in the lightweight division in here. He was my #1 top lightweight. Check out our top 5 lightweight, or top 3 lightweights in the world that we did a shorts for a video on after this. But back to the bet odds. I bet him when he came out at a -450 with a few other fighters that was on LFA, so I just need him to close in this leg. Now he's all the way up to a -650. Look, you want to get money, play Islam Makhachev to win inside the distance, -210. You want to get better money, play Islam Makhachev to win by sub, -120. Those are my 3 ways, okay? It's like a trifecta spot. I got a parlay with him, I'm playing him inside the distance, and I'm playing him exactly to win by sub. All right, but look, Dustin Poirier, his path to victory. This is a guy who's made for the Hall of Fame, folks. Hear me out, man. Some people get belts, and some people just fight the fights that's going to be, you know, making you know him for the rest of their life. And that's Dustin Poirier, man. He can win if he catches Islam Makhachev. The boxing on Dustin Poirier is some of the best in the division. Yes. And he's going to be coming in with that motivation. He knows this is it for it, you know. And win, lose, or draw, he's probably going to be hanging it up after this one, you know. He's been speaking about it so much, and he knows there's nothing more to give after this. But his path to victory, stuff the takedowns, okay? Keep this on the feet. Extend this to the 3rd round and use that boxing. Go out there and you try to knock out Islam Makhachev. Do not try to go out there and fight him. Try to go out there and knock him out. That's your path to victory. If you go out there and do that, Dustin, you might be able to do it. But if you just go out there and try to fight and defend everything, it ain't gonna work. You need to go out there and try to, hey, bro, I'm throwing these hands on you. Take them like you want them. With that being said, hopefully you guys like this, man. It's my UFC 302 bet with me. MMA Locker Room here. If you guys want to follow me on X, Twitter, it's at MMA Locker Room out there, giving you guys my best interviews on here. Got a few post clips with some of the fighters on there too. If you guys want to see that, stay tuned. Let me know who you guys are betting on. My bulletproof parlay. Take Grant Dawson, take Islam Makhachev, and take Rafael.